Hey everybody, Ryan Chichak, Solution Architect at Databricks. And today I want to cover a solution that I just built to allow you to read foreign Iceberg tables that have V2 row level deletes. Something that you can't do in Databricks today, but there is a solution to it. If you watch, you're going to be able to see how this works and then actually implement it yourself. I created a GitHub project called Glue Catalog Event Driven Deletes, and it does exactly what it says it does. Is basically in AWS, you are going to look for delete files on your tables inside of Glue Catalog. And before I get into how the solution works, I want to first show you the solution and then talk about it. This is inside of Databricks. As you see, I'm running a Glue catalog. This is a foreign catalog on the table customers Iceberg. And if I query this inside of a notebook, you see I can query this table fine. And if I go into SQL Editor using a warehouse, I can also query this table fine. Now the issue is if you issue a delete, as we're about to do together, we're going to delete a row inside of EMR. You see, using EMR, we're going to issue a delete, deleting the customer ID 18. And what's going to happen is when this runs, when this delete runs, I'm no longer going to be able to read this table from Databricks. I'm going to error out however I read this. You see requirement failed. That's in the SQL editor. If I go into a notebook and run the same query as we did just a little bit ago, you see that we're getting an error that suggests delete file wrapper. As I stated in the beginning, Databricks cannot read from an foreign Iceberg table with row level deletes if the table is merge on read. And if you're using something like Trino forces you to use merge on read if you run a delete on your Iceberg table. And if you're able to not rely on something like Trino and you're able to use copy on write, Databricks can read that table perfectly. Now, what Databricks recommends is if you run into this situation, you should absolutely upgrade to Iceberg V3. This spec came out a little while ago, and it's getting adoption in the community with other vendors supporting it, like AWS, Databricks, etc. But if you're stuck in a corner right now where you're running into this and you can't upgrade to Iceberg V3 for whatever reason, maybe some vendors not supporting V3 yet, you can feel free to run this project. And what this project does is basically it's using EventBridge to look for a delete record on a table's S3 location. If the delete file comes in, EventBridge is called, and then Lambda basically calls a step function for EMR to run a compaction on the said table. And this all happens automatically under the covers. The process from start to finish takes about 1 to 2 minutes. It's pretty fast. I guess really what it comes down to is your EMR cluster. How big is it? Does it scale? You could probably use EMR serverless if you want to, but in this case, I use EMR EC2. And really what we're able to do is just run one setup script, and you're setting event-driven architecture, or you could do time-based. But this is going to do this, and then it's going to execute a compaction with the rewrite data files, and then rewrite position deletes. And it's been a couple minutes, like I said. If I go back into Databricks and I run the same query that didn't work a second ago, remember we deleted 18. So if I run this query again, as you can see, everything returned perfectly. I no longer see record 18 because it was deleted, but again, it's event-driven architecture. AWS handled the event coming from EventBridge. Lambda triggered compaction inside of EMR using the steps function, and I'm able to now query my table that's V2 with row level deletes, because the compaction removed those delete files. And it's as simple as that. You just install this and let the magic of the AWS services do their thing, like EventBridge, Lambda, and EMR. There's other ways to configure this if you want to use a compaction some other way, but this is how I did it. It works really well. It also makes, there's also some locks. It uses DynamoDB to create a lock where if it detects that a row level delete was just done and a compaction is run, a lock is held on the table for 5 minutes. Any new delete that comes in within that lock will be put into a queue, and then it will be retried one time. Therefore, if there's a bunch of deletes that are run, a bunch of the queue's not going to fill up, so the compaction runs multiple times on your table inefficiently. But yeah, this is pretty simple. It's event driven, and I would love you to take a look at it and try it. And that's all I have for today. I hope everyone has a great day. And if you, like I said, if you're using row level deletes V2 today, you can't go to V3. Feel free to look at this project. Thanks, everybody.